the creator, he says, I have been working on the live action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with one Mr. Avi Arad or Avi Arad. Now this is what has me worried right here. And if y'all don't know about Avi Arad, he's responsible for some of the craziest decisions.
Infamously insane.
In some of the craziest decisions in some of your favorite superhero movies. December 8th, that's a Friday. Gonna be in the Red Room show at 10 p.m. So please get your tickets by going to BroadwayComedyClub.com or go to doubletoastedny.com. And it should take you to this page right here where you can get your tickets now. Or all you West Coast people out there, how about you come see us in Los Angeles? Double Toasted Live in Los Angeles is going to be Saturday, April 27th for a night of comedy games and that after party. Oh, let's talk about this Zelda movie, man. Listen, I got feelings about this. And if anybody is entitled, yeah, I'm going to use that word. If anybody's entitled to have feelings about a Zelda movie, it's me. Because I told you at the beginning of this show that I was there when that boy first hit the scene. Mm-hmm. I was there for, this is back when they didn't know how Zelda was gonna perform or do well in America. In fact, they were so lost about Zelda. I was there for the first commercial for it. Mm-hmm. I was trying to tell you that commercial's terrible.
Yeah, let's see it. I'll see how bad it is.
I don't know if I want to show you.
Come on, show me the commercial for this elf.
Okay. See, that's the thing. You keep thinking, I asked about it because he was saying, well, what's the commercial about? Are there elf ears in there? You know, what are there special effects that are cheesy? And I'm like, no, none of that. This is anything that you're thinking, think worse. Okay. And this is what we have right here. If anybody remembers this commercial, please let me know in the comments section because I remember back in the day when this came on and we were thinking like, I'm surprised they even sold this game based on how this...
Didn't even think it was real?
Yeah, but I was surprised they were able to sell this game based on how crazy this commercial is.
Watch Zelda become a legend on your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Zelda! Levers!
Like this coked up guy.
Wow, that looks like an acting teacher or something, just like warming up in the space.
It looks like a guy who took acid for the first time at your party and nobody can talk his ass down. They got the most annoying person to sell this game, man. I'm surprised that this ever became such a successful franchise with this goddamn dipshit in this commercial here.
Go! Good times! Pee hands!
You know what this is like? This is like that guy at the party who thinks he's funny and is always on.
It sounds like the radio DJ that makes noises.
Yeah. You know this guy. Yeah. Hey, Octoroks! Leverheads! Yeah, it's that guy at the party who thinks he's funny and don't know when to shut the up and sit down. Mm-hmm. And everybody's annoyed by him.
Zelda!
The Legend of Zelda. A never-ending adventure new for your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Now that's when you know. That's when you know you have a great product on your hand.
I thought you were going to say that's when you know you're playing with power.
No, hell no. No, that's when you know you got a great product on your hand. That's when you know the game's going to sell well, when it can sell despite this asshole here.
Which way to go?
You know, if you can sell a game with this kind of commercial, then you got a good game on your hand. So needless to say, that was the case. Such a good game that was even able to to be successful besides that right there. And years later, you know, here we are. We're still making games and they're getting better and better. People say, especially with the graphics. And some people say, hey, they're even getting more cinematic. So with the success of one video game character out there, and everybody knows who that is. That's we just let me see here. So we just saw
Super Mario Brothers
become it's like what the second highest grossing movie.
Yeah, number 2 behind Barbie.
Number 2 behind Barbie. Yeah, man. Everybody thought this movie was going to do well, but I mean, nobody knew it was going to go on. It was going to go on to be as successful as it was. It exceeded expectations.
coming.
Look at us. We're adorable.
I said, you know what? If they make a Zelda movie, like I'm one of the few people out there. I like this movie, but I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, I think that it's really enjoyable to watch, and the sound is just incredible, especially in a theater. But it's not a brilliant movie by any means.
No, but it's brilliant for people apparently who love Super Mario Brothers, and it had, and
It's funny.
they put all the stuff in there that they love. Oh my God, I recognize that from the game. Oh, my nostalgia's kicking in right here. So hey, I get it. I'm not a hater, but I did say this. I said if they make a Zelda movie, you know what? I want to see it done like this. I want to see it animated. I want to see it kind of reflect, the imagery to reflect the nature of the game. If they make it animated, then we can definitely stay close to what we see right here in some of the later games with these beautiful graphics. And so Nintendo said, "Well, what you think?
Yeah,
we're going to make this a live action movie right here." I'm not so much against a live action movie than what is behind the making of that movie, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because
personally, I wanted this to be live action. I was like, yeah, just get Peter Jackson, tell him to dust off some of that Lord of the Rings shit, put some ears on people and paint it green and let's go.
Well, listen, there was a trailer, a fake trailer that was made years ago.
Yeah, by IGN, and they said it was going to be a show on Netflix, right?
It was going to be a show on Netflix, or it was going to be a movie or something. I forgot, but they did do it. It was almost like a proof of concept that Zelda could be done in live action.
Don't touch anything.
I was like, okay, you know what? And I tell you, man, for a second, I was one of those dumbasses they got. I was like, oh my God, they're making a live action Zelda. They're doing it. And it looks like they can do it. But I don't know, man, from what I hear, what's behind this. So I got the article right here. This is from The Verge, where they say here, following the huge success of the Mario movie, Nintendo is now planning to make a film based on The Legend of Zelda. Nintendo's foray into movies isn't stopping anytime soon. The company has confirmed that it's working on a live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. Here's what gets me right here. So there's a quote here from Miyamoto.
Yeah, the man himself, the creator.
The creator, he says, I have been working on the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with one Mr. Avi Arad or Avi Arad. Now this is what has me worried right here. And if y'all don't know about Avi Arad, he's responsible for some of the craziest decisions.
Infamously insane.
In some of the craziest decisions in some of your favorite superhero movies. This is the reason why I don't want this particular casting that people are asking for, because people are trying to actually cast right now, and they're saying, well, shit, let's get Tom Holland up in there, man.
Yeah, that's what, yep, these are the two that I heard.
Tom Holland, let's get Emma Watson in there. Let's get your boy Idris Elba as Ganon.
That's not a bad choice, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I like the way it kept Idris Elba brown. They ain't trying to make him green. I was like, come on, man.
There's too much green in this as is.
Well, black people are evil anyway. So listen, this is what makes me nervous with Avi Arad. So speaking of Tom Holland, first of all, I don't want to see Tom Holland, but that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I still see him as Spider-Man. I don't know. I know he's trying to actually, expand out of the Spider-Man role. So I'm not going to hold that against him. But I think what I'll hold against him is that he was in a movie that was already a video game adaptation that Avi Arad was involved with.
Why the map?
This path Ferdinand Magellan took to sail around the world.
You know your history.
It's the biggest treasure that's never been found.
Uncharted, man. He
was miscast in that, I think, honestly.
Oh, definitely. I love Tom Holland. I think people aren't giving him enough credit that he deserves. But
he's so good as Spider-Man. He's perfect.
Oh, no, he's perfect at that. But then he's done some other roles where I'm like, I wish people would, kind of let him grow outside of Spider-Man, because he's actually a great actor. But I don't know. I'm not so much worried about him as I am with Avi Arad being one of the, forces behind Uncharted. So because this is going to be, you mentioned this, and it's a good observation. You're talking about how this is involved with Sony. Is Nintendo working with Sony?
Yeah, Sony's production company is the one that is just producing this movie, which is strange because it's almost like a conflict of interest because it's a Nintendo property and Sony is going to be working on it.
Yeah. No, that is weird itself, but I don't, I'd rather see them working with Universal instead of working with Sony because Sony has a tendency to not, I don't know, give a. So, I mean, they gave us some great things like the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, whatever.
But you think they're just gonna, just get an elf out there, put a hat on him, make it green, and just tell him to swing a sword around or something. Go, yeah.
I don't think right now that and this is just me speaking solely just based on Uncharted right here. I think Sony, when they get certain properties, they're just interested in just getting them out there and not really sticking to what made them what they are. There's no reason why Uncharted should have came out like it did. It didn't live up to the spectacle. It didn't live up to the casting of the characters. Terribly miscast, both of them. Mark Wahlberg as Sully, and what's his name? Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. That makes me think like if they do
makes it feel like a Resident Evil type movie, where it's just like a cosplay. It's like, they kind of look like go with it.
It's thrown together because they have the title. Now, the only thing that I would say that would make this probably something that would keep it on track to being close to the property is that Miyamoto himself is involved.
Yeah, I mean, he's really talented and he knows that character through and through. But that's what I was waiting to hear you bring up is that character doesn't have a whole lot to him. Like Link, historically, he doesn't talk. He goes, oh! like that's it. Like he just has like a bunch of different noises that he makes. And he's never been a very talkative character. Now, I know that they've developed his relationship with Zelda, but like, man, it's the same shit as Mario. It's like, go get that princess, But but there is a lot of opportunity for just really cool adventure stuff, like, elf riding a horse. Like, okay, there's a story that you can tell within that world.
Well, I think with more than Super Mario Brothers, which was just the only thing you can do with this world is just put in, all the recognizable stuff that you usually see, stuff from the game. And I'll give them this. They did a good job at taking this crazy stuff from a Mario game and actually building a world around it. They did more than I thought they would be able to do. I think on the bright side of things, though, with Zelda is that they do have an actual world to play with here. They do have lore and mythology and stories to pull from to make some great to make a great story for a film if they choose to do so. If they just don't throw it together, just again to make money.
Oh, because throwing this together could just make a tonal just mess. Because Zelda has been really cute, and then he's been cute and kind of dark, and then there's been like he's really dark and he also turns into a wolf. So like there's so much that they could do, and people are going to want to have an elf riding a horse playing the ocarina. They're also going to want to see that moon. So I wonder what are they going to start from?
I don't know, but there's another tricky thing. There's so much to pull from to appeal to the fans, but they're also going to have to put this out there to try to appeal to maybe the mainstream audience a little bit. But as we've learned with Five Nights at Freddy's, sometimes things are just made to be fan films.
I guess.
Even Marvel today is meant to just be for the fans because you can't walk into a Marvel movie today and just be cold, At least not with the main ones we have now.
This would be a little harder for them to do it like Five Nights at Freddy's because, there's different, we've seen Link get older. Like when you're talking about, what's it called? Majora's Mask or something.
Yeah.
Like he's still a kid. And then Twilight Princess, he's like a teenager. And then now in like Tears of the Kingdom, he's like a young adult. Like he's older.
Well, the thing with this is that we've seen this done with to varying degrees of quality. But I think with fantasy, you can get away. Because I would rather see this be animated myself. But if it's live action, I mean, it's easy to just take kind of, well, I'm not going to say it's easy, but you have several templates out there to take from.
Oh, yeah.
Give it the Lord of the Rings treatment, We've seen what happens when you take a property like this and give it the Lord of the Rings treatment. You take care to like represent the characters like the fans want them to be represented, while also making it exciting and adventure filled enough for a mainstream audience out there. Lord of the Rings is something that you don't get no more
cinematic.
Well, no, not cinematic. No, you don't get no more nerdy to the point where this. I didn't think Lord of the Rings was going to appeal to anybody except those nerds who read the books. But when they came out with those movies, they treated it so respectfully that
Yeah.
you know they found a way to appeal to everybody. Same thing can be done with Zelda, man. You know, it's yeah, man.
I think they need to have a good script. They need to make Zelda Link an interesting character, and they gotta just be bold enough to go with it and not, go some of the ways that these adaptations have gone, where it's like, well, we can't just have like 2 characters on screen this much. Like, we gotta have more shit in here from other games, and just throwing it in, and then that's where it'll start to fall apart.
Now, see what Sony will do if they're not careful. They'll just make some old watered down Lord of the Rings shit. You will have, it's just going to be Bilbo. This is going to be a hobbit in a green hat and a sword. They'll just take the most basic template for a fantasy movie and make just make Lord of the Rings light out of Zelda. It'll be some generic shit. They might take 1 or 2 things from the game, like, oh, I recognize that. Okay, so that makes it Zelda right
Get
there.
him that weird flute.
Yeah, give him the flute and give him that horse, and then get him a big old green man to fight,
And the shield and the sword, and that's it.
And that's it. But other than that, it'll be some old, it'll be some generic ass fantasy shit if they're not careful, because that's what happened with Uncharted. Uncharted was, it was Uncharted name. And maybe, oh, look, we took this big scene from the game and put it near the end of the movie. Other than that, this was every other goddamn Indiana Jones ripoff light movie you've ever seen. If you really want to go out and do something nobody's ever really seen done before, cast this guy.
Way.
Bring that guy back in.
Good times.
Get that guy in there, man. No, I'm not gonna sit up here and like be nervous about something. I say something's gonna be bad before I see it, but I will say that just 2 things that are out there that make me a little bit nervous. One, that it's at Sony, and 2, this guy's one of the producers on there.
Let me ask you, what tone do you think this movie's going to go with? Because it being live action makes me think that it's going to be a little bit darker, because there's some beautiful looking, cell shaded Zelda games. What do you think they're going to go with this?
I think that it because it's live action, they'll probably make it a little bit edgier. But you don't
want them to go full Zack Snyder.
No. But I think that they still know that it's Nintendo. It still lies within a certain demographic. It was not going to go too heavy. It's not going to go too dark. They're still going to try to appeal to kids, which is fine. Let's just say it might be, something like Lord of the Rings that's a little more family oriented. And I don't mind that, man. I don't mind that at all.
I wonder how old they're going to make Link, because that's a big thing. Like, he could be anywhere from like 9 years old to 18 to like in his mid-20s.
I like this trailer where this guy, damn, he kind of looks like Tom Holland too. Jeez, so maybe Tom Holland is a good choice. But I think what the tone they have is good right here. Of course, not looking this cheap. I think that this fake trailer right here, just kind of captures everything that's right that they could do. Like look, there's your ports and everything. Like for a parody, man, they actually nailed a lot of things. I think that if they took it, maybe they upped the writing a little bit. Of course, gave this a bigger budget. I think if you look at this, they set the right template for getting a Zelda game, man. I mean, a Zelda movie. I don't know. I look at this and that's what I think.
This might sound weird, but I could actually see them going about Link like a way, almost like Batman in a way, because he has so much stuff. Like how Batman has the utility belt.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he has like the Ocarina of Time. He's got like this rope that he can use. Like there's just so much. I mean, they show it a little bit, like he's putting stuff on his wrists, and they got the idea right. But I think that's the game that they're going to go with. Yeah. And he's already a kid, and he's running around doing whatever he needs to do. So maybe his parents aren't going to be in the picture. I don't know. Just throwing stuff out there.
No, we'll see. I think that this is just like anything, man.
There's a lot of potential in a Zelda movie. A lot.
Well, I was going to say, like anything, it depends on the writing. It depends on how. If they learn anything from, if you're going to do this because Super Mario made so much money, learn from them going in and just paying attention to all the things that made the game successful and all the things that fans want to see. If you get some good writing in there and you treated it respectfully and put in there the beloved things that made it so successful, that made it so appealing, then I think you got it right. But as we know with Hollywood, that's never really easy to do. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the budget that they got on this. And the director, he's done some competent things before, and he's doing another movie that we're looking forward to, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's
the same director?
Yeah, Wes
Oh.
Ball, I believe is his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the same guy?
Yeah, I looked it up right before we started.
Okay. Well, shit, that guy's doing it. Yeah, hey, if somebody can make them monkeys that interesting, then, I don't see why they can't do it with a...
Yeah, give me a couple of them horses. Miyamoto needs them.
I don't see why we can't have him do a good Link game. What is it, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
So that's the same guy, huh?
Yeah. Wes Ball, I believe, is his name.
Really?
Yeah, he
Okay.
did the Maze Runner movies back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And the first one I actually think is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And there's a little bit of Zelda to that if you think about it. You're escaping a cave, and that game does feel like mazes. Shit, there you go.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. I didn't know that you were a Zelda expert and you played all the games. But okay.
I am, man. Oh, I'm just messing with it. I can see that. There were a lot of caves in there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No.
All right, that's it, y'all.
What do people say in the chat, though? What do they want from a Link movie?
All right, that's a good question. What do you want from a Link movie? It's a good question this man asked right here. Somebody said they want Andy Serkis dressed as Zelda. There you go. I agree with that.
As Zelda, the princess?
Yeah, that man can play anything. He can play
I
that.
would be first in line to see Andy Serkis as Zelda, the princess.
He can play that.
Mocapped as Tom Holland.
Yeah. I say put Andy Serkis and mocap him as that horse. You can do that. Somebody say want a black Link. Boy, if you want people to actually burn this country down, put a black Link in there.
I wonder what Miyamoto would say to that. It'd be big. I don't know.
He'd say, Link, mine. No.
And then pull out an ocarina and start playing it.
Link better talk. Man, I think, listen, what about this? Here's an interesting concept. What if in the movie they found a way to make Link mute? What if he can't talk? Now that would be bold. I would almost want to see a movie where Link did not talk. Give an explanation why he, he's a hero, but everybody underestimated him or put him down because he couldn't talk. And see how that would work out in the movie, man. That'd be interesting.
Just have that butterfly, I think it's called Lumos or whatever, just flying around, yammering at him the whole movie.
Although, man, there was a Link cartoon where Link talked. I think he had the nerdiest ass voice.
Oh, like the 3DO game that was also like kind of a cartoon.
No, I think they had an actual animated cartoon back in the day.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah, and Link talked. Let me see here.
Hey, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me, princess.
I don't think he needs to talk, man.
I don't know. I think Link needs a catchphrase. Excuse me.
Yeah, rip his throat out, man.
Hit us with that.
Yeah,
and that's it.
There's a reason why Link doesn't talk, man.
Hey, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me. Excuse me.
Hey, just like the game, right? Yeah. Yeah, you remember that part of the game you couldn't stop saying, excuse me, bitch.
Link famous for his attitude.
I'm just one wild and crazy guy. Wow.
Princess, excuse me, princess. Excuse me, princess.
They really were trying to give him a catchphrase.
Yeah, running around with a tesseract.
And by the way, that catchphrase belonged to somebody else way before he did it. Wow. Well, excuse me, princess. You know, it really caught on later on, right?
Yeah.
Man, all those Link excuse me t-shirts and shit. Right up there with where's the beef?
Dynamite.
Yeah, man. Anyway. Yeah, so I think I just made a good case for him shutting the up. There you go. Somebody said Jimmy Walker as Link.
What's that?
Dynamite, princess. I agree. Hey, he'll be black. Come with his own catchphrase. Let me see what we got here.
I like the catchphrase that your version of Miyamoto gave him.
What was
Yeah, you're not going to catch me saying that. Yeah, nice try.
Very, very sneaky. Yo,
No, the test. So then you pass.
yo, what was that again? Mana. All right. Somebody said Tyler Perry as Zelda.
Link,
Yeah,
come here.
You won't be Link, you be Link. Hey, now all these octoroks and tetarites and things, I don't be bothered with it now. We want to bother with it now. Come on now, princess. Come on now. Sit down and look for your ass all day. Come
Stop
on.
playing that goddamn ocarina. I'm sick of it.
Play that damn pipe all day to get your ass down here. All you little white girls running out here always getting lost in these caves and shit. Come on now. Come on. That works. Thank you.
You're welcome, Miyamoto. Did your job.